Over the years, one of Battlefield's biggest recurring problems hasn't been the core idea of the games themselves, but how and when they've released. Time and time again, Battlefield launches in a rough, unfinished state right before the holidays. Issues show up immediately, but meaningful fixes usually take weeks or even months. And by the time the game finally reaches a stable, polished state, much of the player base has already moved on. Today, I want to talk about why Battlefield's release timing hurts the franchise. Starting off, holiday launches seemingly hurt more than they help. Releasing games right before the holidays makes sense financially. It's the biggest sales window of the year. The problem is that the development teams go on break shortly after launch. When serious bugs, balance issues, or even missing features appear, fixes are delayed as a result. First impressions matter. When Battlefield keeps missing that critical window, it hurts the player base overall. Next, unfinished launches damage player trust. Most players don't come back months later to see if a game has improved. They try it when it launches, decide if it's worth their time or not, and then move on if it isn't. When Battlefield launches in a broken or incomplete state, it taints player trust, and players aren't willing to give leeway or come back and try the game later on. One of the most frustrating things for me over the years of playing Battlefield has been having to wait for the game to be in a good, completed, playable state. Battlefield games often take months to resemble what they should have been at release. The problem with this is by that time, the damage has already been done. You've already lost a significant portion of players that you probably would have had if the game released in that state that was 9 to 12 months later. Due to Battlefield's scale, oftentimes, they rely heavily on having full servers, map variety, in order to maintain a healthy player base. When the population drops early, the experience suffers even more, making it harder for the game to recover, no matter how much it improves later. This isn't even mentioning the multiplayer aspect of it entirely, because a lot of multiplayer games, if they're bad at the start, it's hard for them to build that trust back with their community, or people who are outside of the community, and getting people to come back and play their game. Now, I don't have the experience or knowledge or any of the information related to their financials, so I don't know what a better time of the year would be for them to release, but I would like to see them release games around the summertime. That would allow for additional player base during the summer, and then it would also give time for them to fix their game going into the holidays when they're about to take a break. If they're going into the holidays and the game is far more playable, they're probably going to see even more of an uptick in player base due to the success of the game at that point and the game being on sale. Overall, Battlefield doesn't need to release more often, it just needs to release better. I'd rather wait an extra 6 to 9 months for a finished Battlefield product than to play one that takes months to reach its potential. What do you think? Is Battlefield being released too early, or is it just the reality of modern AAA games? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content. I'll catch you on the next one. RAMTEID out.